many of you guys rode your bikes? Oh, that's awesome. All right. Anybody else up there? Yeah? How many of you guys drove a 4x4? Anybody drive an Audi Quattro? Of any kind? Anybody drive a Chevy? Okay, this guy has lots of cars. So different versions of yourself drove all these various models of cars here. But they kind of all blended in one parking space. Just kind of randomly ended up as one model. I wanted to address a serious issue. And I know that some of you guys are not big fans of it, but I have to address it. There's an election coming up. And we have a choice. It's an election. We have to choose between one president that's already a president and one other person that wants to be president. Both have strengths and weaknesses. Romney, his strength is that he has the power of a relatively new religion. He's tall, kind of reminds us of Reagan a little bit. Obama's strengths. He's a guy. I don't want to say that it's a strength that he's a guy that's because he's not a girl. But I want to say that it's a strength because he identifies himself as a guy. And he is a guy. So you know that he's not lying. And that's a huge strength. It's probably number one when I think of Obama. Obama can speak really well. He's got a vast vocabulary. He's empathetic to other human beings and ways of life. Maybe because he came up in a mixed racial, mixed cultural household. I don't know what that's about. All I can say is that you have to adapt real quick. When you go and visit your white family, they're doing all the white stuff that white families do. When you go visit your black family, and you know, you're doing some black stuff. Definitely gonna do some black stuff. The thing is, a lot of you guys probably thinking, if I'm hanging out with a black family, I'm probably gonna do like some other stuff. A lot of it's gonna be black.
What?
Technically, everything a black person does is black. Been accused of picking up a pencil like a black person before. Obama speaks really clearly, but he just can't quite pronounce the word to, T-O. It always sounds like T-A. Ta. I'd love to talk to you. It's the only thing. The good thing is, no matter who you choose this election season, cycle, know this. Things will relatively stay the same. It'll either be a familiar person on the screen or a new face on the screen. And will definitely see maybe the same amount of people dying. There's always going to be a problem with the economy. There's going to be some weird border issues, definitely. It always gets in there. Some military shit, budget cutbacks. People are going to protest for some reason because something's unequal. That's not going to change. It just depends on what face you like to see in the news. So, make a good choice. It's a cosmetic one. It's a serious choice. Now, as we know, the U.S. government is going to have to admit that some type of extraterrestrial phenomenon has been going on. I think it'd be cool to see Obama announce that, because I think he'd be like, holy shit, I get to announce this. Like, you could tell that he'd be like, fuck. I get to be the one. I think Romney would be more like, I think he would deliver a little bit more straight, like it's just like, we should have known this already. And then quickly move on to a new issue. But, as many of you know, there have been sightings of large glowing orbs in the sky all over the world. You can look at videos, and it's real. I mean, who knows what they are, but these things do exist, and they seem to react in a very particularly conscious, intelligent way. You know? Okay. You're all making choices, you know? You're like, hey man, I think those are flares. You see them flares? It's like, yeah, flares you always see flares. Just kind of like appear in groups, and then stop in the air. And then two of the flares just kind of rotate at a different angle, and then move off, and then seem to disappear into the distance. And then more of those flares appear, and make these weird kind of patterns that look like star clusters, no matter what time of day. That's a standard flare thing. If you work with flares, no big deal. You're probably just going, you know, you're just listening to people, I don't know what those are. You're like, so stupid. If you're a flare worker. But they definitely are real. The Mexican government just released footage from their military planes actually chasing these objects within the last year. You can look at that online as well. Someone's gonna have to say some shit sometime, and all I'm gonna say is this. How many of you guys have ever seen a ghost? Did you see it or did you feel it? Both. You sucked it. How many of you guys have ever seen an unidentified flying object? You? Sorry, you put your hand down when I mispronounced it. Object. Okay. Well, I haven't seen an object, but I have seen an object. All I'm saying is that if you ever see some shit that you don't know what it is, like there's no plausible explanation for it, your entire world flips. And the only reason why I say this is because I saw it when I was in Montana. I saw some shit when I was high on Robitussin. And walking across a huge valley in the middle of the night. And I saw these weird glowing lights. There was 3 of them, and they kind of moved, and they would stop, and then they would kind of like move independently, and they would stop. And people were like, well, it's probably people with flashlights and shit. It's like, yeah, but why? You know when you see a flashlight. Unless people are like, have a big flashlight, a very bright flashlight. They're kind of like holding it like this, like 3 friends, and they're just like... I hope some people cross the valley tonight. But the greatest thing about all that stuff is that you just kind of like, it takes you out of your shit. You know, how many of you people, how many people brushed your teeth today? Most of you guys? Okay. Okay, so most of you guys. How many of you plan to brush your teeth later? Okay, now imagine if someone said that when you are actually brushing your teeth, that you're doing a lot of damage because you're doing too much pressure. Like when you use too much pressure, kind of eroding the gum line. I don't know if you guys knew that, but just brush gently. Okay, so this next song is a song about just